continue to be not Nick. And how about you guys introduce yourselves and your game?
I'm Mason. I'm the gameplay programmer on Texas Throne.
I'm Prithviraj. I'm the level designer on Texas Throne.
And Texas Throne is a third-person action game where your goal is to collect as much money as possible in the town you're in before you are forced to flee.
Okay. How about you hit play and I'll ask you questions while
Sure
you
thing.
explain what you're doing.
So currently we're going to have to go through some onboarding real quick. I just picked up a nice bag of money.
Okay, so 5 normal cards.
Yes. So your main way of getting throughout this level and the world is by throwing cards. So as we go through some of these interactions, it will actually have me throw cards. So I'm currently just breaking some bottles here, just getting familiar with the mechanic. And now that I've broken enough bottles, it will prompt me to change to the bouncy cards, where it will now allow me to preview the path of the bouncy card, and then I can throw the card so it hits the barrels.
I'm going to take a moment here. I know these guys from the capstone development class, and there were weeks of them throwing cards. It was dangerous.
We thought about bringing a deck of cards and just walking in here and just like throwing some cards up in the air.
We were gonna come in swinging.
Yeah.
I haven't given you a grade yet.
That is a fair point.
Okay, all right.
So I've just collected the key to unlock this door that we saw earlier. Now I can see the metal cards, and metal cards are how you interact with safes and registers in the game in order to collect your money. As well as there's the money bags sprinkled throughout the level. And then our saloon owner walked in. We're currently robbing the saloon, so they're just coming here to check things out. If you want to, you're supposed to make them leave without hurting them. You can throw a card at them. It doesn't hurt them, but it's not polite. So we're just going to drop this chandelier, and they're like, oh my god, the chandelier dropped, and then they leave.
All right. I'm just going to take a moment. At the very beginning, you might have seen that there's a wanted poster. So this dude you're playing as is sketchy as heck. Yes.
There's the wanted poster.
His objective is just to steal
Yup.
as much as he can from this town.
He's a bad dude. He also looks really bad.
Although he's rocking a pretty great mustache.
He does have the handlebar mustache.
Okay.
So now while it goes through and just auto cycles through these last couple of onboarding prompts, I do want to pay my respects at the church to all of our developers on the team. So we have Robley. He was killed by an angry mob. Raj, who's our 3D artist, he was stampeded by a moose. Prithviraj, who's right next to me, died in a bank heist. Myself, I was decapitated by a metal card. And then our sound person, Dan, he died by eardrum bursting. And that's just a little fun we got to have with the game.
I will note, among the things that you can rob, they're talking about you being able to grave rob, which would make you extra despicable.
Yes. So we are thinking of speaking some like golden chalice kind of artifacts in the church that you can rob. But if you do rob the church,
people.
if you do rob the church, your bounty increases significantly. And on the pause screen or when you die, it's instead of saying cunning, it says a horrible person.
So I don't know if sound is being picked up or not.
It is being broadcast.
Oh, wonderful. So we actually have one of our newest additions is this lovely NPC right here that you have to sneak around. So he's actually sleeping, doesn't really look like it, but he is making a snoring sound. And what I did downstairs was I broke the alarm by throwing a card at it, went in, and then there's a key in here that I grabbed, which unlocks this gate. Alternatively, I woke him up. Alternatively, you can drop the chandelier, which would wake him up, but it also gives you the key. However, as we'll find out, since apparently I woke him up, when I walk outside, all of our NPCs will be hostile towards you, and they will be trying to capture you, basically.
Okay, hang on. Oops. Interesting. So as you are stealing, the reward for you is going up.
That is correct. That's your current bounty. Additionally, if you, for whatever reason, need to pause the game, the bounty shows up at the bottom hand of the wanted poster.
Yeah, super sketchy.
Yes.
Okay.
So it
I
is.
don't know. I'm conflicted. How should I feel about myself?
I just lost
So
input.
currently it does not update the titles
Okay.
that you have earned. Like we have plans on making it ranged. Like
Mhm.
like if your bounty is within a certain range, you get assigned a certain title.
Uh-huh.
Like super notorious, a legendary thief, a petty thief, that kind of verbs that you get assigned.
Okay.
It's not been in the game yet, but it's in the plans.
Nice.
Also, it's a way of making replayability. Like if you have a certain bounty and you have certain cash, you can pay it and replay.
Mhm.
But if you don't have the cash to pay a bounty, then you just rot in the cell and die, and that's the game over. Because you can't play your way out.
Oh, that's not cool. Okay. We're restarting. There were some technical issues, not by them. We
I'll
lost
just-
some input.
I'll just run through and
Okay.
do this as quickly as possible.
How speed runnable is the game?
Yeah.
Time to find out.
Onboarding. Once you have to do onboarding, unfortunately, but
Mhm.
I know how to go through it pretty quick.
Just say how many times have you onboarded?
Enough that I'm kind of sick of it at this point.
All right. Where did this idea come from?
So when I was in undergrad, I did a lot of narrative and world building, and one of the narrative ideas I had, I never actually got an opportunity to work on it, but the idea was you are essentially in like something similar to like Marvel Universe, but you only play as the evil characters. And the first character idea I had was this evil magician dude that uses stage magic as his primary way of just going through and just being an absolute menace to the entire town. Not even necessarily the town, but just wherever he is. And that was kind of how it started. Once we kind of went through our initial concept and ideation phase, we ultimately settled on the dude is just a normal dude who uses stage magic and robs the town. And then from there, we just kind of expanded it until we ultimately ended up with where we're at. Okay, so now that we're back where I was before input stopped working, the bank NPC left, and now all the NPCs are either searching for me or if I'm in their line of
Oh
sight,
no.
they're shooting at me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let them capture me basically. Once I run out of health. There we go. Once I run out of health, it shows me how much money I have, and then it also shows me what my reward is, as Prithviraj was saying a couple minutes ago. And now I'm in this lovely jail cell where I can pay my bounty in order to escape.
Okay.
So now that I've paid my bounty and can go back and explore the town freely, there's some registers and
Hi, Tumbleweed.
money bags all throughout the level. I don't actually have metal cards to open this register, but that's how you collect money. Is you just go through.
Where do you get more metal cards?
So there's metal cards in each of the levels, so the bank, the casino, and the main level. The main level, they're in the saloon where you first start in. For the casino, they're on the poker tables. And then card decks also spawn when you run out of cards or get to a certain number. So like the normal cards just spawned right here because I was at 3 cards. So now I was able to pick up more.
So the objective of the game is get money.
Correct.
Yes.
What's the end condition?
You either leave whenever you are ready to leave, or you are forced to leave. So the casino quest that we're currently in, once I go through and defeat the boss, hopefully I defeat him on my first try. Once I go through and actually defeat him, I will be wanted dead or alive. Meaning, if you get caught or die, you are no longer able to pay your bounty.
Oh.
The way our narrative is set up right now is that there are bounty hunters behind Ace. They want to catch Ace because of the crimes he committed in the past. Now he's hiding in gun flats.
Okay.
But this new casino opened up and he wants to steal from it to survive.
I was gonna.
But this bounty hunter has set an obvious trap in the casino. It's so easy to rob the casino, but as soon as you pick up the gold, the bounty hunter comes in. It's an obvious trap. So if you kill the bounty hunter, then the entire town knows that something went down here.
Okay.
So now you are wanted dead or alive. They want you out of their town, basically.
All right.
But-
so you paid
yeah.
the bounty. You didn't get zeroed out. You still have some money.
Correct. That's because I didn't defeat the boss.
Okay.
Had I defeated him on that initial try, then I would have left the casino, and all the NPCs would have been hostile towards me again, just as though I had finished the bank heist. Except if I were to die from one of those or get caught by one of those NPCs in the overworld, I would have gone to jail, and I wouldn't have been able to pay my bounty because I wouldn't have had enough money.
It is like if you steal or cause a ruckus by hitting the NPCs, then your crimes are not that bad that you get prison for life. But if you kill someone, such as the boss, you get prison for life if you get caught.
Okay.
So you won't be able to pay out. You don't get bail.
And to defeat the boss, you have to drop chandeliers on him.
Yeah, so that's the initial mechanic that we introduce of how to manipulate the environment, and we thought it fitting, since our cards don't actually do damage to any of the NPCs, that you have to drop these perfectly placed chandeliers on top of him in order to actually damage him.
And he'll camp out underneath.
He will only go to a chandelier that's hitting. So if we already dropped chandelier, he cannot go to any of those places.
And you have to drop all of them on
No,
him?
you only have to drop 6 on him. Ah, dang.
Okay. All right. Knight.
Yeah.
So what was your considerations in terms of level design here?
So for the level design for the boss fight, for example, we wanted to make it a very obvious way of, like, we wanted to make it so easy to get the gold, so the boss fight triggers and players are not just wandering around the big building thinking what should we do. The building being big is due to the AI, the way it is implemented right now. We need a bigger space for the AI to be able to do its scans and trigger its own behaviors of searching and shooting the player. So we made this atrium in the middle where the boss can fight with the player, but now we needed a way to trigger it. Now to trigger it, we needed, let's steal something, right? It's a casino, it should have a vault of money because people play against the house.
Yep.
The house should be able to pay. So to put it in an obvious spot, we got a couple of rooms. There are some offices and there's a one vault room. For the vault room, there's a key that you have to find in the office. That way we are making the player explore the casino a bit, so it doesn't seem like, okay, yeah, it's too easy to just go in, get the money, and shoot the boss fight. We want the player to, take a feel of it, like, okay, this is the building, these are the corners and stuff that these are the objects I can hide behind, there are casino chips everywhere that you can steal. So it's trickled a little bit of breadcrumbing of the casino chips, and then you get the main source of income, the wall. And once you steal from that, the boss walks in, like, Ace, I know you are in there, I'm going to kill you, or capture you. There's supposed to be a cutscene where you collect the gold that triggers. It's not been implemented yet, but it's in our future plans.
Okay.
But yeah, when you collect the gold, there'll be a cutscene that triggers where the boss, kicks in the door, walks in, and hey, Ace, come down here, I know you are in there. That kind of dramatic scene, and then the boss fight will trigger. So those were the consideration for this. The bank level, our onboarding wasn't actually like this from beginning. The bank level was supposed to be the introduction. So it was designed to be completely easy, single path. Just go through, steal, get out. It was like introducing the mechanic. You drop the chandelier, get the key. You go in, you rob it by opening the ship with metal card, and you come out. But then we thought, okay, that's not enough of an onboarding. Let's make it more explicit. So we set up the shooting range kind of thing in the bar. That but now the bank heist became kind of confusing. So we had to introduce more parts in it. So we introduced alarms to a sneaky way, or a way that is not so sneaky. You're careless and you forget your alarm. And then
Vicious.
from the
Yeah.
player feedback, we were given a feedback that it would be really great if there was someone in the bank that you have to sneak around.
Uh-huh.
So that's where the AI idea came from. That we would have a person inside the bank
Mm-hmm.
who would be in there to guard the bank, and if a noise was made, they would be alert. They won't fight the player, but they will run out and alert everyone else outside. So whenever a player actually comes out, there will be some hostile enemies waiting for them. So that's how the bank level came to be. It was all a very iterative process. None of our levels are in a state where they started from. There's a lot of changes in the layout. There's a lot of changes in the player path. There's a lot of changes in what actions you have to do. And that's how it came to be. Even the game loop, the boundary system, that's all very iterative. We didn't have the boundary system from the get-go. Boundary system is something that came in after doing certain playtests, getting some feedback from people, and getting to know that people could want to leave without getting their money, like getting all the money from casino. What if people can just go to the train station and leave? And that's where the bounty concept came in. Like, you can't, but you can leave whenever you want. Yeah, it's been really fun designing the level around the mechanics.
I've enjoyed the iteration and how you guys have pivoted a bunch of times. I think the
There we
basic
go.
idea is, oh good, what happens now?
So now my bounty is very much so higher than the amount of money I have. I'm now wanted dead or alive. The second I exit this casino, all of the NPCs are hostile towards me, and if I take like one bullet, I will more than likely be caught and not be able to flee.
Okay.
So now I'm just trying to get to the train station around all these
Oh my god.
very angry NPCs.
Roll for your life.
Roll for your life.
Dodge and weave, boys, dodge and weave.
Get there.
I'm
get
so
it,
close.
Get it.
There we go.
Yay.
And so now it tells me how much money I actually collected, and that is it. And then if we had time to play again, it would
Okay.
skip onboarding so that you don't have to go back through it.
Okay.
The doors are open. You can collect your medal and bouncy cards immediately and just walk outside and explore the beautiful town.
Mm-hmm.
You can go straight to the train station. You can go right back to the casino if you want, or the bank.
Okay.
And if you want, you can set another high score of how much you stole from previous.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. How are we doing for time?
We gotta get the next team in.
We gotta get the next. Okay, so
But last minute.
say knowledge bombs. You want to drop anything on?
Quick.
Quick.
Um,
For anybody.
Share all your knowledge in 1 minute.
Feedback.
Actually, what you learned.
Feedback and iteration is very important. I think had we not listened to any feedback from the first semester, we wouldn't be the game would not be where it is currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're all really happy with where it is now compared to where it was at the end of fall semester.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree. It's been a pleasure seeing this game grow, and given the number of changes, I think it's still really solid for where it is, given all the time you've invested.